Hello, this is Eli Walker. I want to go over with you how to do the training in our SAM modules part of our Comp 1000 class. If you take a look on over here at our screen here, watch my mouse as it moves on over here. We want to go ahead and take a look over here into our lessons section. Here into our lessons, we're going to pop on down here into our learning modules. And once we're in your learning modules, you'll see this information that we've actually gone through here yet. Module 1 you should have already done at this point. SAM assignments, modules 2 through 7. Getting started with SAM is something that you have already done, should have already done to get set up with your SAM course in Blackboard. And if you have done so, then if you go ahead and move on over here into Module 2, let's look into our Module 2 for our Windows assignments. And here, you'll see on over here, this is Module 2. You see Week 2 Office 2016 and Module, and Windows 10. We'll move on down over here. You'll see again, here are our objectives, and here are some of our assignments here. These activities right here, these activities and assignments here, these are things that you should actually do for yourself. Go ahead and complete a training exam, create folders for your student drive, for your OneDrive, and so forth. This is not something that's going to be graded, but it is going to be something that's going to help you to actually keep track of everything. Whenever you start a new class, you should always go ahead and on your folder, usually on your OneDrive, you want to go ahead and go in and set up a folder with the name of the class. And again, having done this section here, you'll know how to create a new folder, how to change the name of the folder, and so forth. Then inside that comp folder, you want to go ahead and create these folders for Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint. In here, and in these, each one of these items over here, you will hold your papers, and also your files that are related to these individual points in here. So in our case here, that's our goal for this unit. And in the case on over here, we're going to go ahead and go into our Windows assignment here. And this right here is your ebook section. Now, if you can't open your ebook section here, I want to show you something here called right click. So it says over here, if you can't open it, go ahead and click it here. And what I will normally do is I'll right click and I'll open something in a new window. And this is always handy in my case. Now it's going to come over here, it's going to load in content, it's going to look a little bit differently than what you're probably used to seeing it as once it gets on over here, but I'll change that in a second. I'll have to go into preview mode here. But in our case over here, again, this is going to be your actual lab assignments in here, your textbook, and these are going to be the items that you should be going through and learning how to do as you go through this particular unit. Now, this is your virtual textbook. I'm going to set that aside for right now. Again, but let me bring it back for just a second. Again, if you go through these are going to be all the information that you need in your class for your textbook for this class. Coming back over here to our assignments, say reader listening content using read section, all the way here through the summary. It's a good idea to follow along with the steps as you do that. I'm going to page number 2, working with Windows. Again, this over here is a Windows 2 through summary. So we want to go ahead and click on, that's 3 of 5. Let's click over here onto 4 of 5. This is our Windows training. This is a point that I want to make certain that y'all understand here. So in the case here, it says week 2 Windows 1 to training here. If you don't see that pop open, you want to click over here on this click to launch, and you'll see it pop on over here into this area here. It'll say loading Cengage. Now, in my case here, the way it actually shows in here, it's going to show up as this, but in your case, it should pop on over here into a window that looks like this. Now here's one of the things I want y'all to be aware of. When you click on these tasks If you pop on over here and look at these are the various tasks that you'll learn how to do in this section. How to rename a file, how to shut down a PC, how to sign out of Windows, sign into Windows, close window, and so forth. And you'll go ahead and do a training, and you'll get credit for each one of these. For each one of these questions over here where it says if or issues, if you have a Macintosh computer, then of course you would go ahead and go over here to your Mac help, and it'll tell you some of the things that you would normally do to translate from working with Windows to Mac. Again, here's a shortcuts key. This is actually one of my favorite things over here. Control and F2 means opens Windows. Control and the command and F2 will open up Mac, and so forth. But let's go back over here to our point here. The, our point, and take a look at this. Now this case here says rename a file or folder. That's the first task. Now by default this system will always go ahead and pop you over here into observe. And if you click on observe, it'll go ahead and show you the things. Okay, it'll go ahead and give you a little narrative on how to do this and so forth. You probably don't want to do this because you probably already know how to do this particular item. So each time you hit one of these, I'd encourage you to skip the observe, skip the practice, and go straight to apply. And here in apply, it says over here, rename the Rockland file financials by using the sales as the new file name. So I've done this, and I clicked over here onto apply. So I'm going to want to go ahead and right click here, and then I'm going to go ahead and rename. Okay, so now I've chosen that, and now I'm going to type in sales. And then I just hit enter. And you see here that says that apply is complete and I've completed the task. And it pops me over here to this next task over here. Now I went straight past it over here to the observe because I don't really want to see how to do this because it says to shut down Windows 10. Now when you shut down Windows 10, in this particular thing I did want to show you, you don't want to go all the way down here to the very bottom because this is your actual Windows item, your Windows program. If you hit this and then click on to shut down, it will go ahead and it will shut down your entire computer. In this case you want the simulation. So in this case over here you've got that. So we've done this, and now excuse me, so it says on over here to shut down Windows 10, and it looks to me actually hit this portion over here, and in that case here you want to go ahead and click on shut down. All apps in this PC is shut down, so I'm going to shut that down, and you see here I've completed that task. And now if by chance it turns out that I had not done that correctly, I might want to go back over here and then click on the observe if I couldn't figure out how to do this right. But in my case here, with each one of these, I'm going to go ahead and click here into this section here. Remember, observe, no, you don't want that. Practice here, you can practice all you want, but it's the same as apply. But if you practice and get it correctly, you're not going to get credit for it. So you need to go straight to apply, because if you get apply incorrectly, you're still going to get credit for it. When you're done with all these tasks here, with this and in this case here, and you're done with these tasks, then of course you would go ahead and you would submit. And once you are done with this, here it says you're not completed the task of training. Do you want to submit? In my case, I'm going to say yes. But in your case, you would probably say no. But in that point here, you would go ahead and you would get all of the credit that you need for these tasks. Now these task credits are, or knowing how to do these tasks are important. It's important to know how to do these according to, again, all of these lessons that we have in here in the apply, because these tasks are going to be the same tasks that you're going to be asked to do in your test. So really, if you go back and you do these tasks over again as many times as it takes to get it correct, and you get your 100 on this, then when you go through and you do your actual test, then you'll also be able to get 100 on that test and do well in the class. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know.